Thank you for tuning in to watch our Invest Greater Orlando launch conference. You're about to watch panel number 2, Crafting Communities, how Greater Orlando is addressing sustainable living for success in 2024 and beyond. Enjoy.
We're here to talk about sustainable living. So our panel was the blueprint for Orlando's next generation of sustainable living and considerations for complex projects to be successful in 2024 and beyond. That's a mouthful, but it's a very important mouthful. On this panel, we have Beat Kahli, Charlan, Thorne. Very happy to be next to these guys. Have a lot of experience in leadership and community and development. So let's get on with it. First question, sustainable growth, sustainable living, and urban development. What does that mean to you guys? Anyone can start.
So just to correct my name, Beat Kahli is the Lebanese version, but I'm the Swiss version, which is not valid. So I'll also like all this, eat stuff. So, I mean, being all the Swiss and all Central Floridian, I sincerely believe the sustainable community focuses on people and not on costs, not on infrastructure, it's actually primarily. And I always kind of like raises me when I hear from people how much time is spent writing every single day. That's the reason for that. I mean, I was here when we had a moratorium on communities because they were not school infrastructure. There's constantly problems because there's not enough growth. And telling the community leaders, it's not like they have to build more roads. I mean, what you have to build is where people can live, learn, work, and play. And by the way, the people can live where they work. They can play where they live and work. We call them quadruple stakeholders. They live there. They have a business there or have a job there. They have their kids there in school. That's what happens. You don't need the transportation infrastructure for that setting. So, I mean, you will hear that from me a lot this morning. Build mixed-use communities and think about this. I mean, when you go recreational on vacation to the admire towns in this world, it's always a mixed-use town like Paris, like London, like Rome was built in a day, but you don't go to the suburbs of Houston for recreational reasons. So mixed-use town is actually the solution for sustainable communities. I mean, there is a few, it's at Florida, there's a trend. There are it takes decades in capital and generation.
I think everyone here can appreciate having better back on I-4 near Champions Gate area and down for away at 5 p.m. So thank you for that. Well, thank you for having me. And it's great to be there with you and Robert and Rod. I think you said a really nice thing about time. We live in the experience of time, and it's in how well the quality of life of your day based on the traffic is no one's ideal use of their car. So for us in sustainable community development, we're architects. We design something like 250,000 multi-family units across the country. It's going to be a portion of them here in the Orlando market. The mixed use is definitely a big piece of the equation. You could infrastructure costs on a community. Lots of single family and detached homes are very, very sensitive on the infrastructure. And typically, important ways the property taxes alone are covering the cost of maintaining and keep those infrastructure. So the high density stuff, which is very, very challenging to get approved. A lot of moving pieces are extremely expensive. Talking about projects that are in the range of $75 million for 300 apartments. It's building massive investment. I believe them is traded, and there's an entire development economy based around it. And so part of I guess the implicit question is whether or not that's the right model to address all of our housing needs in our country and in our local markets. But regardless, it kind of comes down to the placement and generating what I would call like the alpha, the absolute, what makes people want to be there in an environment. And the more you can get people inspired and passionate about their community, that it's mixed you, they're not pulled into, they're thoughtful to
to what their specific needs are and educated by, the more resilient you can make it. And so I was just off to talk about the big challenge we have right now in our local economy is insurance. I think it's like the big 800-pound gorilla ground. And one way to offset this is through smart high density development. It's more resilient, built on the best codes, with the best construction means in building sciences, make it more scalable. You look up with, and then going on, but the counterpoint to it is a total. And what was estimated by Hurricane, a couple years ago, and if you look at single-family homes, if you go on Google Maps or Google Earth, you look at an aerial of the city, we see an unimaginable number of parkers operating all homes. And you imagine, like, most of these people want to leave, get control, go to Tampa, find some other place, run through family, and they left. And the economy is still suffering. So how does people all come back? And it just speaks to the idea that, we really have to have a diversified typology of structures and living conditions and thinking about all generations. It just can't be stamped up, single-family homes, and sometimes being non-nuclear families, all come in, aged and placed adults. We have a full range and diversity of offerings to kind of sustain our dynamic environment, our dynamic society. So the needs is the ability, and I think we're looking at healthy buildings, well buildings, and that's super important. There's also just kind of needs that be the economics of the development industry and trying not to have things done over and over again, but something we can actually build off of.
Wow. So very interesting. You kind of help saying Robert over there. Robert. No, sure. Okay. Hello. I guess what's very important is to understand what the word really means. This inability is illegals when today's date without it affecting the nutrition. I think that's the whole key. And that's what, we developed probation maybe Florida, they know they get Florida, some in Florida, about Gilly. We've also developed in Mexico, in Coast, Mexico City, in Cabo, Miami, so on and so forth. But we're probably doing about 45,000 units at current time. I think, and at the beginning, we talked about health, okay? And we development construction with this. That's where we spend 90% of our time indoors, and if we add the time that you spend in the park, it even increases even more. And if we're not conscious about how we build it and the environment that we create for the people that are living there, it will tremendously off everything. We talked about up here at the VA. In our community, we go back here, the type of developments that we do in Central Park, and that's a lot great to ours, is we do communities, whether it's vertical or horizontal developments, that are strictly for vacation community. And that's a big responsibility because we have people here in Central Park that come to all over the world. I landed last night from Mexico City, and I was on a plane in Mexico City with faculty pack, and the flight right next to me was an Emirates flight. Okay, and you have from all over the place, and people come in, and we don't know what they bring with, okay, and they're staying in the homes that we built, okay, and then they're mixing with other people from all over the world. And there we see people from Central Park as well. So when we were just talking a little bit ago, we built communities. We have a company that we own that's called the Oregon, and what it does is it specializes in providing healthy air. And what we do is we have probiotic infusion through air conditioning systems. Probiotics, when you put them in the air, they land, they walk, they can reproduce, and basically are good bacteria and kill bad bacteria.
And we place those in every single home dwelling that we build. We're very conscious about everything and all the activities that have been made in town. Not only that, but we do a lot of things with it. A lot of it, how we power your oil or homes or water filtration systems, vitamin C. The paint we use is not toxic because you're breathing. You breathe this every single day. Unfortunately, my personal assistant, you're like input working in construction, and he just came down with it was a Home Depot and filled out. And he had a problem with the goal, and it was because of all the construction sites that he'd been working on with the demolition, with all these asbestos and all of that material. So we as developers have a huge responsibility in that health that we advise it, that we provide for our people.
And a great exercise as the mediators on the other side, early developments, they were often looked at inward while of the. So it's a good topic, and it's something that's our capability and while sustainable early developments. Since 2020, we're seeing a lot of growth and our land is well. When we grow, it's very important that we're following how we grow in order to not grow too fast and in the wrong way. What is sustainable to you guys, and what do you guys implementing in order to have start growth in Orlando?
Yep. CB from Switzerland, where some buildings are 1,500 years old. I would call Switzerland a mature real estate market. I would call Florida not a mature real estate market. And the reason maybe there's so much land still here. I mean, to give an example, the Modern Group, that's in French, Modern Church owns 300,000 acres. Think about what that means. They could build Manhattan 20 times, on that property. So this is just outline what always fascinates me about how much land is still at on the one side, but then on the other side, when we built the top 10 national buildings, they're all running out of land. Going, to, infrastructure, sustainability, what do I believe, looking back, building traditional neighborhood developments, and there's not many Central Florida. And the reason is often people not build real towns. I believe it's not image. So I think that's what it is. And I studied my first answer. You have to build real towns. And actually, 80% of the world are in towns. And you get to the growth states in America. That's where we went into that and built 300 apartments here. 2 miles down the road, 2,000 single-family homes. 10 miles down the road in August Park. And I think that's our biggest challenge, that we don't get the ability to build towns. A few years ago, an interview with USA Today, and they were kind of like, I'm kind of a built out the stretch. It's now 5% of Orange County, 60,000 people live in that 3 mile radius. Doing this in Tampa again, they're doing this on 3,000 acres, Daytona again. And people are asking, why not more industry players building houses? And it was a good question. They tried to find a cause who does that, and we didn't find these calls that at least to their satisfaction. And also, what do I see? Why people are not building sustainable towns where people can live, learn, work, and play. Towns where infrastructure goes in sync and builds simultaneously. You're still in the town. I remember saying years ago, the leaders of Orange County in Orlando came to my hometown, which is Switzerland. They were amazed by public transportation because it's very getting there. I mean, under 200 yards, you can walk on a tram, bus, train, etc. You really don't need a car, and it's comfortable, it's clean, etc. So I was in the mayor at that time, Orange County, asking, how can we get that in Orlando? And my answer was, it's already, we can't. So I said, wow. I mean, why don't I say, this service wasn't budget, so that was our first tram. So years ago, and we built it as you go. That's a big lesson which I learned. You can't let the government, you build infrastructure. You can't build 5,000 homes and then say, somehow government will figure out the infrastructure. Once the homes are there, somebody will maybe build some commercial, because there's now the rooftops there. You want to build organic towns, you have to get involved in every aspect of that infrastructure piece. We're talking about the even central point of privately built public schools. Was it difficult? Yeah, it wasn't so not the noble school. It was, I'm a school chairman at a good solution for school rather than the 12,000 parents stop having children in the movie South. They're going to attack people go that over instead of go forward. So we gave this older Avalon, and Avalon and said, hey, a parent who lives somewhere is only the next 3 to 5 years interested if there's a good school there, if the school has capacity. By the way, your parents isn't interested anymore because the kid has to go gone. So I'm thinking, let's go. I mean, that's the only ones. And they simply when you want to say, hey, you guys have good borrowers, you're graduating, you're AAA, you're not worried that when you get the money, you don't buy those schools. And it was awesome means so we built the school for the entry school to take the test center. You finance it with low, still test on economy, goes together, and eventually the school work all those schools were as a single solution. I mean, you can do a signal roads. I mean, I think when you have to see and picture, you can't start this doing apartments, you can't start this 5,000 single family homes, and so things are starting in. So, and you're saying, hey, what's the reason that people are not building towns? Is it not successful? They say, about city was successful, the being lots of cities around the globe, it's this line was there, etc. It was successful. But what I learned, and this was my answer, you have to change most things, because the problem is if you are to talk them, you're a stock exchange builder, and your original president walk into a boardroom and tell them, you know, build a town. Let's say we're not building towns, we're building single family homes, they look the same, they work the same, having or machine building there. You build apartments, and you read your documents, you can't build a family, and build apartments. The same as offices, the same as retail. I think that's the primary reason that people are not building down. And then, it's the American Switzerland was formed 1291, so it's an old country. It looks like, myself. I mean, I'm too much American. I'm just great in it. I think kind of like saying something about Spark. Thank you, yeah. I was a great ass. I really cut off the midget perspective. I think you pointed out the Florida in the United States, where in our city state is building out our cities, our towns. I don't think you go down the direction that it's going to need lots of. There are lots of great institutions that are coming out, whether are developing and coming together out of age, whether it's the Avalon Partnership or COVID Partnership. We also, Bright Line's a huge maneuver, a great vision from those guys. But in Europe, all the rails are owned by public entities, and in the rail for them, the cars and trains are actually owned by private entities. In America, all the rails are owned by private corporations. All the trains are owned by public entities. And so, and now they've gotten some easiness to allow passenger rail and take priority freight on private rails, while people might have alternate track. It's connecting all of Florida, it's Miami, consistently in 3 hours, as opposed to in-kit facility, 2.5 to 9 hours by car and day. So there's the big moves. But I think that is a look at the incentives that exist. Florida is under the accommodative states and development. There are more accommodative states. There are less accommodative states. We have opportunity zones, which has been around since 2017. Kind of the music policy, but allowing that if you whatever investment you put into an opportunity zone, into a certain qualified uses, meaning not golf course, not pawn shop, but it could be a family, it can be another type of business. You pay zero capital gains tax if you hold that investment for 10 years. So these are opportunity zones. There are districts that are drawn out across from Honey Creek. There are 12 in Orlando. We're doing a project. There was old golf course, 128 acres. That's buying out of Miami bought for $1.25 billion. Staying at 128 acres for $1.25 billion. And we got approved for 5,600 apartments. 350,000 square feet of commercial. There will be a new school. The city is part of this negotiation. Their developer stands, they have a lot of risk and make a lot of money. The city required that certain percentage be affordable. and then we pay for our own bus system inside. So we'll be using the autonomous bus system, Beat out of Lake Donna. But it's a holistic design, an aspirational solution. It's a model, but it's kind of like a new urbanism type of situation where most of the existing housing structure in this community is 6,000 people. It's mostly single-family homes, some houses, three-story or four-story block up. And it's obvious that you guys outlaw honestly, you're missing a critical mass to support a restaurant on board. There's Thorne. So we got a green Girgenti stairwell. So but it reverts 50% of knocks 80 roads. So there are some big moves being tried by many.
We're already there to spend on that smart code. When we talk about rate, and especially in Central Florida is the lead market, of course, as far as growth and is concerned. And that brings an interesting challenge. You're right, we've got to supply it. But what are the challenges and the decisions that we have to do as developers? There's a lot of the land that is available, especially when you go out in the vicinity of the Osceola County area, there's got wetlands and it affects the environment. It affects the environment. We, and you know, as a developer for many years, I didn't understand already at the beginning here about, you know, the wetlands and this and that, more units. And then when I really sat down and they explained to me and they said, understand what you're doing when you're affecting the wetlands and all these kind of stuff. I started realizing, and then now we have a philosophy where we don't mitigate, we don't touch wetlands, we just don't go. We allow that to stay. And then continuing with the growth, especially where we build mostly in Osceola, and now we're going to start building in over by Universal. And transportation, like the Vatican before, it's just 7 million years. I mean, if you really look at I-4, the biggest contributor to traffic is people who go to the parks and the employees that are going to the parks. If we realize how many people go to the park, come out, how many employees come in, come out. If you look at that I-4 is basic, it really is. Would we, you know, there's an issue, there's a problem with transportation, definitely to that sector in that area of town. The amount of cars that are there that are traveling and in that area is affecting the environment because of pollution and all that kind of stuff. Osceola County is working, and Raiders is very far away, but we're working with them on some type of transportation to the parks. In a lot of areas that are cities that are very high in density and have traffic problems, but it's going to be used in Encore type of system. It's amazing. I like that because the only gondola that I know is going skiing to getting on a gondola hill, right? But anything enough, we learned from other countries in Mexico City because of traffic disorder. You've got 26 million people living in a very small area. You know, they have moderator system transportation, they have subways, and it's still traffic is sporadic. So they started putting in moderate these gondolas. And I laughed. I said, this never even work. And, you know, it works fantastic. It never stops. People get in and out slowly, and people that go. And not only will it help with transportation, but it maintains the air cleaner. Because now, even though you don't have buses that are not fueled by gasoline or diesel or any of that, and subject to propane, but still you can't put enough. And that's what we have to be conscious when we talk about growth, is how we handle the growth, because the demand is there. That how you do it and not as focused future is very important. Good answer. Glad you guys, all three of you guys kind of talked about infrastructure. As an engineer, we're often a big part of the infrastructure at the beginning of a development project, and sometimes I have no idea what you guys are thinking. So I'm glad you guys are thinking, so we have a better idea on future projects. We just have a few more minutes here, so one last question to all of you guys. Keep your attention Thorne. Either in sustainability, what kind of relationships are you guys seeing in that in the development society? I'm going to start with you, Rob, this time.
I'll talk to you about the short and work that we do. Okay. Orlando, and I understand, I mean, at least because the only county I'm starting to work with the city of Orlando, so not to show. But in the city of Miami, for example, lead is very important. Okay, and you don't build with the all community, you won't be building. I mean, we believe in it, and we try to work with construction materials, like I mentioned before, with paint, but we start even with the wood and it's brought to the site and how it's protected. It's environment and how it affects the building materials that you're using, and how it affects in the year, because all these materials breathe drywall, which for 10 years ago, we had a problem with the Chinese drywall. There in Miami, half the buildings we shut down because of the Chinese drywall. So it's very important to understand what kind of materials are being built in order to be able to ensure the sustainability is there for the environment so that people breathe and live in that area.
Yeah, these are very important thing. It started in our, I don't know, a little bit now see people coming back like our bones. Where the trends.
Yeah.
I say that for us and in our side, the lead is coming out of the second insurance. It's really is U.S. Green Building Council, like kind of been pervasive in all building roads. So the level of standards that's gone up, it's been maybe what's changed a lot has been more of a specific about jurisdiction, like wind loads and rain and stuff like that, as stormwater and to Rob's earlier point. For me, I guess the big design, the big change is just really take up a space in the entire life. I think we need to take more deliberately, the aging population. Gen X is coming of age in terms of aviation, and improvers are the ones retiring or downsizing in their states. So there's going to be a lot of obsolescence existing like design at all. It's going to make it staying sharp on that design for people.
Thank you. Yeah, in this kind of almost sure.
Yeah, I can do that. Again, talking about mature markets, I mean, what happens in mature markets here, one of the biggest challenges that'll be there is affordability. I mean, you're surprised how somebody can go up a 2-bedroom, 3 developed, ready to know. So I have a question is what I'm doing, a still point against government. I mean, you're saying that don't charge the impact fees, don't charge us any this, and you guys, cost of construction, etc. And at the end, I see both of that. Those streets will get a lot smaller. This is also trying to a lot here, and I checked it. I hope that I thought, boy, I mean, like they didn't do this road. It's so small. But I walked out 3 years later, I actually said, very smart out there in the side. So every time last week we walked the project of us in Tampa, and there's actually a lot of space which is now needed, and that's in my own house. There's some rules which I have seen for years for models. And I think that will be a trend which you will see certain cars, in the 70s, those big cars from the cars. So, design is the biggest that, I actually worked on. From that point, I believe that's now people work all from home, but not exclusively, so you will cover putting up the Beat model, other models, with small office there, which you may go once or twice a week, but otherwise work on the roads. But not anymore that you commute to downtown and you'll work from 55 in your own office, and then you leave again, example, you try to then your computer, so that I think all the big times it's a people home to Switzerland.
But there you go. And you guys sitting up here, I have a lot of fun.